Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. We're going to dive into a very important and sensitive topic, understanding and addressing intimate partner violence, or IPV. Our focus will be on recognizing the signs and behavioral patterns involved, as well as exploring effective ways to support victims. This is a critical discussion that can make a real difference in people's lives, so let's get started. Intimate partner violence, or IPV, is any form of abuse or aggression that happens between people who are in a romantic relationship. It's important to understand that IPV isn't just physical violence, it can also include emotional abuse, sexual assault, and psychological manipulation. What characterizes IPV is a repetitive pattern of behaviors aimed at controlling, intimidating, or harming a partner. This issue affects people from all walks of life, regardless of age, gender, sexual orientation, or background. At its core, IPV is about power and control within the relationship, making it a very serious and complex problem. When we talk about intimate partner violence, there are several warning signs to watch out for. One major red flag is controlling behavior, where one partner dictates where the other can go or who they can see, limiting their freedom. Another key sign is isolation. This happens when someone is cut off from friends, family, or any support network, making them more vulnerable. Changes in communication are also important to notice. For example, if someone suddenly becomes withdrawn or secretive, it could signify a problem. Jealousy and possessiveness that go beyond normal boundaries often indicate underlying issues as well. Unexplained absences or injuries are also concerning, especially if they happen frequently without clear explanation. Lastly, excessive monitoring, such as constantly checking messages or tracking whereabouts, can be a sign of controlling and abusive behavior. Recognizing these signs early is crucial in addressing and preventing harm. When we look at the emotional and psychological indicators, there are several signs that often point to someone being a victim. First, anxiety and depression are very common. Victims may feel overwhelmed by persistent worry or sadness. Alongside this, low self-esteem and feelings of worthlessness frequently appear, where the person may doubt their own value or capabilities. Social withdrawal is another key sign. Victims may avoid interacting with others and isolate themselves. You might also notice fearfulness or nervousness specifically around their partner, which is a strong red flag. Additionally, mood swings and emotional instability can be quite pronounced as the person struggles to manage their feelings. Lastly, excessive apologizing and a sense of helplessness often come through in their behavior, showing just how trapped and powerless they can feel. All these indicators together help us understand the emotional toll that abuse can take. When we talk about physical signs and injuries of intimate partner violence, there are several key indicators to be aware of. First, look out for unexplained bruises, cuts, burns, or fractures. These injuries may not have a clear or believable explanation. Chronic pain and persistent headaches are also common symptoms and shouldn't be overlooked, as they can be linked to ongoing abuse. Another important sign is marks or injuries that suggest restraint, like bruises around the wrists or ankles. Frequent emergency room visits, especially when there's no clear reason given, could be a red flag for ongoing violence. Finally, one of the most telling signs is when injuries appear in various stages of healing, indicating that the abuse is repetitive and ongoing rather than a one-time incident. Recognizing these signs can help us identify and support those who may be suffering in silence. Here, we look at several key behavioral patterns that often signal deeper issues. First, social withdrawal. This is when someone starts avoiding social occasions, pulling away from friends and family. Next is communication reluctance, where a person may seem nervous or hesitant to speak freely, often out of fear or discomfort. We also see performance decline, which could show up as drops in work or academic achievements. Another concerning sign is partner-enforced isolation, where the individual is deliberately kept away from others by their partner. Changes in clothing habits are also telling, especially sudden shifts toward more concealing outfits, which might be an attempt to hide injuries. Lastly, fearful compliance indicates a behavior driven by fear, where the person complies with demands mainly to avoid their partner's anger. Recognizing these patterns is crucial for understanding and addressing the underlying situation. When responding to someone in need, The first step is to encourage safe communication by urging them to talk with trusted friends, family members, or professionals who can offer support. It's important to provide them with information about resources like hotlines, shelters, legal aid, and counseling services, so they know where to turn for help. We also need to emphasize the importance of safety planning. This means carefully considering the safest steps before taking any action to avoid escalating danger. Finally, it's crucial to avoid direct confrontation with the abuser unless it's absolutely safe, because intervening directly can sometimes increase the risk for the person affected. Our goal is to support them in the safest and most effective way possible.